Cool, I took a morning dump and had a snack. It's 6:30 AM when I'm recording. And it's time for me to sum up the new stream. Oh, hi, Vino here, to the State of Decay 2 Update 21 and Open Range summary and analysis. I predicted most of the new weapons right, and despite the fact that I'm a huge Wild West fan since early childhood and the weapons look nice and fancy and all that, but at the end of the day, honestly, nobody really asked for that in the first place, because they're just a few more guns to the big variety that we already have and pretty much just reskins. I honestly think we got way too many weapons, at this point probably even 6 times more weapons than the first State of Decay. That's not how to keep the community and players engaged for the long run, but hey, no hate intended, and I'm still waiting for the next few months and the next updates that'll come and quality of life improvements. So without wasting more time, I start with the summary of the new weapons. We got a new explosive called Dynamite, obviously to the theme, and this won't be crafting item, but only available at a bounty broker. After the first 3 amounts, it'll cost 150 influence. Next, the Renegato, and by the way, the revolvers are all pronounced right by me because I'm an Italian, and it was funny to hear the developers say the names.
In my pocket here, this is the Renegato, and so we've got, I got the 1875 Scheriffo, Fortalege, something like that, and the frog leg. What's the difference between them?
So yeah, the Renegato, which is a loot-only revolver, which I personally don't care for, since I will never find it on Nightmare Zone, but it uses 45 caliber rounds. The Scheriffo is a bounty and needs 44 magnum rounds. The similar version with a shorter barrel called Fortalege will be findable in loot only. A model 1887 which needs 12 G shells and is also found in loot and rarely on AI only. The Merslag, which is a small handy lever action rifle. Stats weren't shown, so I think they said something that it carries 44 magnum rounds. Then there's a bladed melee weapon called the Fencing Tool, which looks neat to be honest. It's a axe, but it hasn't good stats or high lethality. Then next we had the Sword Off Model 8087 that also loads 12 G shotgun shells like the normal regular version of that, and will be available at the bounty broker, same as the Model 92 rifle that loads 44 magnum rounds and will be available via the bounty broker, unlike the scoped version that is in loot, and a heavy weapon called the Big Daddy Skillet accessible at the bounty broker. The Big Hank is another solid rifle, which also has a second version called the scoped Big Hank, and they load 357 HP rounds, or 357 HP, whatever. And by the way, the scoped is available at the broker, the regular version in loot. Honestly, that's a common theme in this pack. Why isn't there just one version? Only the scoped one, since most of us prefer weapons with a scope, and as soon as we have that, we'll never use the regular one anymore. At least what I've seen from other State of Decay players and myself. Then there is a Bowie knife, a close combat weapon available at the bounty broker, the branding iron, a blunt weapon, and last but not least, a 5.56mm scoped lever action rifle, which is also accessible at the broker, called the something with the Will. I haven't written the name on. The Will Deserter, the Will, I don't know. It's a pretty neat weapon. And another thing that I want to point out is that lever action guns or rifles never jam or break, just like revolvers and pump action shotguns. And then obviously I think at least 4 or 5 cowboy hats in some tops. I mean, they look all nice. There are new costumes that you can get. Unfortunately, at least half of them only found in loot, so it'll be not as easy. I won't read out all the names because it's just clothing. It's, I don't know. Most of you will find it, and I will do a more in-detail video, in-depth video about them as soon as the update launches. But there were another few features shown in the settings. For example, include unusual zombies, so I guess the freaks. So you can play, for example, the new zone that will be launched in 1 or 2 months, and then, for example, turn off the unusual zombies so that you don't encounter juggernauts and have only, for example, regular zombies, but which moves faster, I don't know. Then enable finisher prompts on zombies, so you can enable only the fast finisher moves and animations, which was also many times suggested and a feature I look forward to. And then, since many wished this for, I guess, months and years, I personally never had an issue with that, but hiding the character backpack so you can see the jacket, the back of the jacket. Honestly, I couldn't care less. It's State of Decay, it's a survival game, it's not a fashion game, like for example you play Dark Souls as Fashion Souls. Jesus Christ, well, I guess there are some people out there who are caring about such details and if there's a Juggernaut skull on the back of the jacket, but honestly I couldn't care less. Since I'm a hiker, I'm a mountaineer, I climb up mountains, I'm loving seeing those huge ass hiking packs and the Red Talon bags and Red Talon hiking packs, whatever. I just fucking love to see them, or the army issue backpack, but well, it's just another feature that some of you may like, may not like. Yeah, that's pretty much it with all the new things. What was your favorite about it? What's your opinion on that? I will also do a second video on my honest review about the new updates and things that Untitled Labs has been doing the past few months. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.